Hey, good morning, everyone. Glenn Kellaway from the basement. I didn't do a video yesterday. Busy running around. I did manage to hit a record store, though. It's called Rock and Roll Heaven. And I hate to slam record stores, but I'm not a big fan of that store. It's kind of like, I find it expensive. He's got a ton of used CDs in there, too, but they're just so scattered and all over the place. It's hard to find stuff. And I find his records kind of expensive. But I dropped by anyway to see what I can find. And I went through there. I was in there for like an hour. And I found a couple things, just small things. I didn't end up spending much money. But I found this interesting CD, Fusion for Miles, a guitar tribute to Miles Davis. The band includes Vinnie Colaiuta on drums, which is interesting for me, and all kinds of cool guitar players interpreting Miles's music. Pat Martino, Bill Connors, guys I'm not too familiar with, Steve Kimrock, Borelli Lagreen, but also Bill Frisell, Mike Stern, Eric Johnson, Jeff Richmond, and Jimmy Herring, who is the current guitar player for Widespread Panic, who you know I'm a fan of. So, pretty cool. I picked it up like this. It didn't have a price tag on it. And I went up to the dude and said, "How much do you want for that?" And he goes, $5. It's sold. So I haven't heard it yet, but I think that's kind of cool. While I was there, he has a lot of cool stuff in the store. Like it's a great store to look around because he has a lot of rock and roll memorabilia around, but none of it's for sale. But it's kind of cool stuff. A lot of Beatles stuff and Elvis stuff and just all kinds of cool stuff just to look at. Anyway, in the countertop glass display case, he sells patches, rock and roll patches, David Bowie, whatever and ever. And I see this one sitting there. Widespread Panic, $4. Now, what I will do is buy a hat and do that with it. So that's what's going to happen. Later in the day, my daughter and Andrea and I went to Barnes & Noble, to the music department. Now, I always hear Barnes & Noble has all these great exclusives and everything. I'm in there looking around. I could find nothing. Then at the back of the store, they had all these albums for $20 each. And then I noticed a sign, if you bought 3 of them, you got them for $50. So like $16, $17 a record. That's not too bad. So what did I find? I find 3 Grateful Dead records. I find Wake of the Flood, $20. I find from the Mars Hotel, $20. And Grateful Dead's last studio album, Built to Last, for $20. Now, so that's $50. But my problem is, I already own Mars Hotel and Wake of the Flood. So my daughter Andrea, she likes the Grateful Dead. She says, "Well, I'll buy those 2, and you can just buy that one, and we'll just split the $50. Give me the third of the money, and we're good." So that's what I did. So now I don't want to open these because they're hers, but this one is on. It's a Barnes & Noble exclusive, limited to 5,000, and it's on neon pink vinyl. This one, I should talk about this one for a minute because I really like this album. It's got some great tracks on it. Scarlet Begonia's U.S. Blues, China Doll, Ship of Fools, Loose Lucy, all great tracks. This is a pretty good Dead album, studio album. And Wake of the Flood has Eyes of the World on it, Stella Blue, Mississippi Half Step. It is Coca-Cola bottle clear vinyl. Interesting. Now the one I got is the last Grateful Dead studio album. Brett Midland, I think, passed away shortly after this came out. There are some. This isn't as good as In the Dark, which was the previous one that had touch of gray on it and that, which is a really solid album all the way through. But this one does have some good songs on it. It's almost like a Brett Midland album, but it has a great song called Standing on the Moon, Victim or the Crime, Just a Little Light is a Brett Midland song, Foolish Heart, Blow Away, Picasso Moon, Built to Last, I Will Take You Home. Pretty cool. I'm quite happy to get this. It says Barnes & Noble exclusive, The Dead, Stack the Deck, the final studio album, newly mastered on translucent red vinyl. Includes Foolish Heart, Just a Little, Picasso Moon. I'm going to open it because I want to see the colored vinyl. I have a banjo pick here somewhere. Okay, let's pull this out. Oh, there we go. That is Brett Midland there, who sadly passed away from a drug overdose after this album was released. Ooh, very cool. I like that. Very nice. And it comes with a little poster of the Dead. And what's this on the back? Hey now, merchandise featuring Built to Last card emblem. Steal Your Wrench is available only through this order form. So that's my vinyl purchase for the day and my CD purchase. I want to talk about one more thing with you. If any of you are a fan of progressive rock or of the band King Crimson, or familiar with this gentleman, Jacko Jaksic, who was the current lead singer, dual guitarist with Robert Fripp in King Crimson. He's actually my favorite King Crimson vocalist over Greg Lake, over John Wetton, over Adrian Belew. The reason I like him the best is because he took over the job in 2013. He had to learn how to sing the songs that all of those guys sang. Just a really super talented guy, producer, a solo artist in his own right. He has his own solo albums, but he came up with this autobiography. Who's the boy? Who's the boy with the lovely hair? There's Jacko there. Now, I am really enjoying this book. It's really not just it's Jacko's personal story, which is very interesting. He was adopted as a baby by a Polish immigrant who lived in England, and that's how he ended up with the name Jaksic. His first name is really Michael. This is a whole story of him finding his birth mother, and it turns out she immigrated to the U.S., married a U.S. serviceman from Arkansas. He is from, London, cultured, and he ends up with a family of 3 half-brothers and a full sister, and a mother that he didn't know, and a stepfather, all from Arkansas, from we'll say no more. Just anyway, culture shock. It's a great story, and also along with his whole musical journey, I'm really, really liking this book. It's really good. It's a great human interest book, and also a great book on music and all the bands he played with and all the people he met in his journeys. I'm a big Jacko Jaksic fan, and I just wanted to point that book out to you guys. If you like reading music biographies, I highly recommend this one. It's a great story. And that's it for today. I had ordered a 3-record set, Hall & Oates Live at the Troubadour. Now, I've mentioned this, that I have it on CD. It's one of my favorite live albums, but I didn't have it on vinyl. And I noticed on Amazon.com I could buy this thing, a used copy, for $19 and some cents. So I put my order in, and I ordered another CD to go with it. It was like $44 $4 I spent in total. They just wouldn't ship this frickin' thing. They kept saying, "Oh, it's lost in shipment. It's in shipment. It's tied up at the depot." It's just could never get it. I just canceled it. I was getting so sick and tired of the whole thing. Then it took them like they weren't giving my credit back, and I ended up going on the customer service thing for help last night, and ended up talking to somebody online there, chatting, and he got it all straightened out for me and gave me a credit. So I ended up ordering 2 CDs and a record, which are all coming tomorrow. So I will be showing you that stuff tomorrow. And one more thing, I wanted to give a shout out to Gary, Physical Format Rock and Roll. He is laid up with some kind of a back injury. Get better soon, Gary. That's all I got to say. Take care, everyone.